All right there, hey data lovers, and welcome to another I Love Data Fridays podcast here at the International Data Evaluation Center, located on the campuses of The Ohio State University. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not waste any time here. This is a second take, partial second take to a podcast we just put out a couple days ago. And I call this special edition podcast our Annual Reports Update Podcast 2016-17 Take 2. Whoops, we forgot to tell you about the literacy lessons updates. So yes, in our first Annual Reports Update podcast, we forgot to mention what we changed for literacy lessons. And here we go. So I have a sample report over here, but just first go over the table. So as you see here on the screen, we made some changes to tables S0, table 1.1, table 2.1a, figures 2.1a and b, and we've added two new tables, table 2.5 and table 2.6. So just to go over those quickly, what the differences are, let me bring over a sample over the report. So here we go. I am going to zoom in just a little bit so we can make sure we see everything nice and easy on the video. There we go. So here we are, table S0. What we changed has to do with these two rows right here. In past reports, these two rows were combined into a students row. Now they are split out by literacy lessons, special ed, and ELL student count. Okay, so we just split those two rows. All right, let's peek back here. The next one is table 1.1. So let me move down there. The only change we did from table 1.1 is that this information, the grade the count of students and the percentage of students by grade level, was moved from the end of the table to the beginning of the table. So that was all the change there in table 1.1. All right, now we've got, let's see, table 1.a and figures, tables 2.1a. Let's move down to that. And make that a little wider so we can see everything. So here in table 2.1a, what we did is we added an additional column for the new intervention status we added to the Literacy Lessons website this year. So we added this none of above column to the table. Since that was the new intervention status we added this year on the website. Also in the to section we have, I believe we added, like I said, two new figures. Let's get there. Oh, here they are. Make this a little bigger. This is figure 2.1.a, and this is just showing the percentage of kids the percentage of intervention status of special ed students, literacy lessons students served. So we have a group of bars for each grade. So we have a group of bars for first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. Each bar indicates the percentage of kids who fell into a particular end of program status column. So you'll notice we have like our orange bar for our literacy lessons were no longer needed, blue bar for our moved kids. And so you can see, for example, in second grade, in this sample here, about, we'll just call it roughly 16% of our kids moved in second grade. Almost 40, maybe around 38, 39% of them had marked that their literacy lessons were no longer needed. All right, and so 2.1a is for our special ed students. Figure 2.1b is the exact same chart, but it is for ELL literacy lessons students. So it's designed the same way, but just for ELL literacy lessons students. Now we've got, let's see, two new tables, tables 2.5 and 2.6. So table 2.5, which is titled Recommendations for Students with Early Literacy Processing System Who Needed Additional Support Towards Literacy Expectations. So specifically on the website, this table is reporting on kids. This is the exit page for a literacy lessons students. It is for kids where teachers have selected that the kids have a team recommendation and it's an other recommendation, and then the teachers make an additional selection about what that other recommendation was, and that reports these results of what those other recommendations are. So each recommendation that you find in the question 21 are listed out here in the table, in table 2.5, and it is broken out by grade level. So you will see a count of each student for each grade. So for example, here in first grade, we had 0 kids who had recommendation for an intervention or specialist teacher, 1 child that had an other recommendation, another 1 child that was placed in a self-contained SPED class, and then 2 children who were put into small literacy group with a classroom teacher. And then for each grade, you also have a column percentage. So in this column, the percentages add up vertically. So 25% of the kids had an other recommendation, 25% of the kids had a placement in the self-contained special ed class, and then 50% of the kids had a small literacy group with the classroom teacher. So remember, a set of results for each grade, 1st through 5th grade. All right, the next table, table 2.6, let's scroll down here a little bit. In this example, table 2.6 is a short one. I do believe table 2.6 is in response to, once again, to question 20. If the teacher answered none of above, then the teacher could select why the child's intervention was ended. What external reasons ended the child's intervention? Make one of those three selections. And then these are reported here in table 2.6, the external reasons for ending literacy lessons. It has a similar design as table 2.5. There will be 1 row for each category that you can choose for the external reason why the literacy lessons program was ended. And then there are a set of columns for the data is broken down by each grade. Once again, for each grade, we've got a count of students and a column percentage, the percentage of students, and the percentages add up vertically. Hey, so ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That concludes our update to our annual reports for the 2016-17 school year, the Whoops, We Forgot Literacy Lessons edition. Now we've got it in there. So ladies and gentlemen, looking forward to seeing all of our teacher leaders at the Teacher Leader Institute. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click on that subscribe button right there on the YouTube page. Subscribe to I Love Data Fridays, okay? Become a regular subscriber and get all of our video podcasts as they come out. And as I always like to say, folks, thanks for listening, and talk data to you later.